my goodness, oh my gosh, it's too hot, oh my gosh. Hi. Once again, it is entirely too hot here in London, and next Wednesday is threatening to be 35 degrees. We're not built for this structurally, emotionally, as a people. It's too much. But anyway, it's been a busy week. However, I did not want to go a whole week without touching base here on YouTube. You got to touch base at least once a week. You know what I'm saying? Have a little catch up and that. So I'm going to keep this video a lot briefer than my usual uploads. And we are just going to riff about New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion that happened on June 14th in Osaka-Jo Hall. Now, I watched the main event on the same day because I had to see if Yuto-Ice was going to defeat Callum Newman and regain the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And he did. I was so happy. And I spoke about that on TikTok, I think shortly after the event happened. But as I was looking through the rest of the card, I was like, you know what? I want to check this out. So when I had some time, I was like, I'll come back and check it out. And I watched half of it during the week last week, and I managed to finish the rest of it last night. So let's talk about it. The opening matchup was Takeshita defending the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship against Sanada. And Sanada is such a character. The last time I saw him was earlier in the year. I can't remember at what event, but he was wearing a mesh two-piece and he had a guitar and was saying goodbye to New Japan, but he's back. And his entrance was great to kick off the show because he had different people coming out representing different iterations of him. And then finally he came out, but there was loads. But Sanada, he's so flamboyant and ostentatious. And you can't really be ostentatious in wrestling. Like, the larger than life you are, the better. But Sanada is such a character, super, super entertaining. The outfit he came out in, I was like, okay, honey, yes. Takeshita is, of course, Takeshita, and television championship, I think the matches are always limited to 15 minutes, but within that time, Takeshita was able to retain over Sanada. And one thing that was irritating me was the English announcer. He announced Takeshita as Konosuke Takeshita. I said, huh? Take who? And then even when the Japanese announcer said his name correctly, he said Takeshita, I thought, okay, so at the end of the match, if Takeshita wins, I'm hoping the English announcer heard what the Japanese announcer said, like how he pronounced Takeshita's name, and he'll say it correctly. No, he now again at the end said Konosuke Takeshita. I said, oh my gosh. Next up, we had Jake Lee against returning, I think, El Phantasmo in a no disqualification match. And this match, it was fine enough. Recently, I watched El Phantasmo versus Kenta in the G133, where it was like one of the shortest matches because of like how it went down. And I really enjoyed that. El Phantasmo, I'm not a big fan of him. He reminds me of a mix of Logan Paul and Machine Gun Kelly, like old Machine Gun Kelly. But Jake Lee, I thought I liked Jake Lee when I kind of saw him in that match against Yuto-Ice earlier in the year. But I realized that I don't really like Jake Lee very much. He's very unsettling, and I guess that's his whole thing. But it's unsettling in a way that I'm just like, no. But the match was fine enough, you know, no disqualification, couple ladders here, couple bits and pieces there. And Jake Lee defeated El Phantasmo. I think it was by referee stoppage. Being totally honest, I skipped TMDK versus Yuya and Taichi. Although I do like Taichi, there's a match of his that I've watched with Jay White, which I love because I love anything Jay White. But yeah, I skipped this match, the Taichi Yuya TMDK match. Next up, we had El Desperado versus Mystico in a singles match. And the story is that, you know, El Desperado wanted to have that match with Mystico. It's like a dream match. He wants to see who's better out of the two of them. And they are actually currently the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Now, let me just tell you, if I were Mystico, me and El Desperado's championship reign would be done. Because what do you mean? We are tag team champions together. We're having this match, you know, as like a show of respect kind of thing. And you're there trying to unmask me. When he was trying to unmask Mystico, I said, what? El Desperado, you are wrong for that. You are so wrong for that. Oh my gosh. But Mystico is a better person than I am because post-match, he lost the match by submission. But post-match, he's still there, you know, showing El Desperado love. I said, Mr. Ko, you're a good man. Because after El Desperado tries to unmask you, no, it should be over. But yeah, El Desperado, Mr. Ko had their match. Mr. Ko tapped out. And I really like El Desperado, even though I'm saying, what he did is crazy. I've only seen a few matches of his, but I just like his demeanor, how he carries himself. But yeah, that was Mr. Ko versus El Desperado. I skipped another match. I skipped Aaron Wolf versus Ren Narita. I don't know. There's nothing that I've seen of them that's drawn me in enough yet. Like when I looked at the card, this match wasn't one of the ones that I was like, okay, I have to watch that. So I just skipped it. Oh my gosh, I loved the IWGP Tag Team Championship match with the Knockout Brothers defending against United Empire, and whoever walked out as champions would secure themselves spots in the G1. Unfortunately, Knockout Brothers would lose to Great-O-Khan and Hinare, but this match, oh my gosh, it was fantastic. Action strikes. Oh my gosh. The beef that was happening between Yuto-Ice and Hinare, I was loving it. And Oscar, I love Oscar so much. When he comes in and does big man things, I'm just like, yes, Oscar, I like you a lot. I like you a lot. And Great-O-Khan genuinely had me cracking up at the end of the match when he was just there laughing. Watching he actually had me in stitches. I was like, I didn't know he was this funny. But yeah, they defeated Yuto-Ice and Oscar to gain the IWGP Tag Team Championships. They're now double champions because they're also the never open weight 6-man champions alongside Will Ospreay, and they secured themselves spots in the G1. The three-way match with Andrade defending the Global Heavyweight Championship against Drilla Maloney and Shota Umino was one that I was really looking forward to. I think this made Andrade's first defense of the championship, unless I've missed like an independent defense that he did. But I think this is his first defense since he won it from Yota Tsuji. And Drilla Maloney, I saw a tag team match with him and Shingo. I can't even remember who they were facing now. It might have been Francesco Akira and someone. Maybe, I don't know, but I really like Drilla Maloney, and I love the fact that the crowd were really behind him, and it seemed that they were also behind Shota Umino when he was going against Andrade, but out of Shota Umino and Drilla Maloney, they were behind Drilla Maloney. And I know Shota Umino had a big deal about wanting to, bring back the Global Heavyweight Championship to an in-house New Japan Pro Wrestling talent. Apparently he'd had 19 shots at singles gold in New Japan, and this was his 20th shot. And spoiler, he won the match. He pinned Andrade to win the championship. But Drilla Maloney, I love the moment that he shared with Shota at the end of the match. They kind of like, he had tried to come in to break up the pinfall and had just missed it. And he sits up, Shota sits up, and they're kind of just like looking at each other in a really emotional way that I just really, really liked. And that emotion was there. But of course, commentary also kind of called out that being the man that Shota Umino is, he's likely to give Drilla Maloney an opportunity. Drilla Maloney, they were saying that he wants to win his first singles title in New Japan, and he's not leaving essentially until he does. But yeah, even the three-way, I found it quite interesting because I was watching it and I was like, have I ever seen a three-way in New Japan? Like in the time that I've been watching it, I was like, am I crazy? Is it? And commentary kind of like confirmed that I wasn't crazy by saying it's not a common thing to happen in New Japan. So that made me feel a bit better. Not better, but it kind of confirmed what I was feeling and thinking about three-ways. Post-match, Shota Umino doesn't even get to celebrate because Gabe Kidd shows up. Oh my gosh, Gabe Kidd, man. I don't know. Like, I really dislike Gabe Kidd. And it's not even like heel heat. I just don't like Gabe Kidd. But he basically, came to effing and blind and all sorts up the place and said that he's coming for Shota Umino and laid him out. And he said FWWE. He was about to say FAE and he was like, oh, no. And he was like, he's going to finish the promo with like a line from his boss at his new company, AEW, where the best wrestle. I honestly, I was just like, Gabe Kidd, why are you here? Please. He's in the G1. He's been announced for the G1. They announced the G1 participants earlier in the show. But yeah, Gabe Kidd just spoiled it. And then his music was playing. He left. His music was playing. Drilla Maloney was on the ramp while he was talking his nonsense, like kind of looking on. And I'm not quite sure, but commentary kind of alluded to the fact that there's complicated history between Gabe Kidd and Drilla Maloney. So when Gabe Kidd finally had left, his music is still playing. Shota Umino is leaving the ring, and he's walking out, and Gabe Kidd's music is still playing. I was thinking, like, turn this off, play Shota's music. And when I was thinking that, commentary actually said the same thing. They were like, can somebody shut this music off? But Shota Umino gets to the top of the ramp. They stop playing Gabe Kidd's music finally. And I'm thinking, please, play Shota's music so he can at least go down the stairs to his music. No, he went down the stairs in silence. I said, Shota. But at least he finally has singles gold on his 20th attempt. The penultimate match on the card was Dookie. Commentary pronounced it as Doki. Doki sounds better if you ask me. But he was defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Yo. And my only sort of experience of Yo is seeing Jay White mistreat him in tag team matches, like back in the day. I think it was beardless Jay White as well. But back then, Yo was quite comical. I haven't really seen much of him in that time since then. But just seeing how he presents himself, I really enjoyed his outfit, his patchwork shorts and jacket. And he just seems really, really fun. And I think they were saying that he's had 6 attempts at the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship that he hasn't won. So of course he won the best of the Super Juniors. So this was his shot. And he got it done on his 7th attempt. He ends the reign of terror, as it was described, of Doki. So yeah, shout out Yo. But just like Shota Umino, he had no chance to enjoy the moment because 4 people were coming for him straight after. So one of them was Sho, who interfered in the match. So this match was full of shenanigans, by the way. I quite enjoyed Doki as a character. I liked his dark presentation. So I did quite enjoy this match. But yeah, shenanigans galore. But Yo gets the job done despite the shenanigans, becomes the new champion. And then there are basically 4 people who instantly are coming for his neck. They're all holding the championship. I'm like, listen, this guy just won it. Let the man hold his own championship. But essentially, Yo says, you know what? We're going to play a game. You're going to fight in a 4-way, and then whoever wins, you can face me for the championship. And he walks off. But Yo, yeah, it's entertaining. I quite like this for him. It was nice to see him finally have this moment. I say finally, not like I've been, watching the whole time, but from what commentary explained and the 6 previous attempts, and for him to finally get it on the 7th, if I remember correctly, it makes him the 100th IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. That's a nice number, you know what I'm saying? Something that cracked me up as well is that commentary was saying that in the press conference the day before, Yo had told Doki that he was dressed as a, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Not burlesque, cabaret dancer. So I had to go and look up the press conference, and the fact that he was just smirking the whole way. Like, Yo is a character that I think the mischievous side of me will really, really enjoy. And of course, the main event was Yota Tsuji challenging Callum Newman for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I cried when Callum Newman defeated him for that championship, but also when Yota Tsuji lost the Global Heavyweight Championship to Andrade, I said, you know what, it makes sense because you can't have him really holding up 2 divisions. Like, let him drop that title and now he can reacquire the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Callum Newman's had 1 successful defense, and I was just praying that Gedo did the right thing, and he did. I was so happy that Yota Tsuji regained the championship, and he is now back on top in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And unfortunately, Callum Newman seemed to sustain an injury in the match, a shoulder injury. So yeah, I think I've seen a tweet of him saying that he'll do the G1 even with 1 arm or something. But Callum Newman is somebody that I wasn't very fond of, but I've decided that I do quite like him as a heel. Like, he plays a heel role very well, and I do quite like his in-ring work when he works with Yota Tsuji. Those are the 2 matches that I've really watched of his. But yeah, Yota Tsuji's back on top. I am over the moon. So yeah, it feels like Dominion was the kind of event that allowed me to get a bit of a picture of what's going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now, because I don't watch it as frequently as I would like to. And often I just watch like the main events, but as I've been watching it, I now have interest in more of the wrestlers. So like with Yo and what's happening in the IWGP Junior Heavyweight division and the 4 people that want to come for him, and then Jilla Maloney, Shota Umino, and Gabe Kidd, like those things, I feel like now I've got an understanding of what's going on. So I think that Blue Justice happened this weekend or on the 20th. So I think, yeah, this weekend. So I'm going to check that out. And I've been saying that I want to watch more New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think I now have a good jump off point to keep up with what's going on storyline wise. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I really enjoyed Dominion. Yes, I skipped 2 matches, but what I did watch, I loved. And I watched those ones because I have investment in those characters, no matter how small or big, you know? But that shall be all for this video. If you have any thoughts on New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion this year, please drop it in the comments. Let's chat. And as always, if you liked this video, please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so that you don't miss a video, and I will see you in the next one.